Hi, let's dig straight in. Now, part one. What is list building and why list building is important to help grow your internet business and help grow your audience and to take it to the next level. Now, what you must understand is before I start teaching you and helping you understand what list building is, you must understand the principles of what list building is. What is list building? Now, list building is a collection of emails and names and phone numbers captured by what is called an opt-in form on a web page or landing page. Now, the way to capture these emails and phone numbers are done in many different ways to suit you on your business. And here is some of the ways of how to do it. Let me show you how. Now, question: is the money in the list? Yes, it is in the list. Now, and here are some important rules in building any list. Now, regarding what business you have, well, is My Lead System Pro, Facada, Empower, weight loss, a soap business, or it could be fitness, health and fitness. It doesn't necessarily have to be an internet business. Well, we're on the internet, so you need to build a list to get your customers. So what you got to remember is you've got to know your target audience, which is very important. So if you're in, say, weight loss, you wouldn't target the people who want a home business. So they could possibly be, but in this case, no. So to build a relationship with your customer, it's very, very important to build your relationship with your customer, and it's good to have regular customers come back to you, which is also important, because you've got to build up that trust. You've got to understanding that there are many sources to building one's list. It could be through Facebook, anyway, and many other sources which I'll go into in a bit. Now, to have an offer or something to sell, like a product, as it needs to be real, yeah, and it can be sold online. Now, having an understanding that building lists from scratch, as this takes time, as this is a slow process, if you choose to do it manually, or there's no way of saying this. You've got to put the hard work in. So whether you're doing it by paid advertising, or you are doing it by Facebook, which takes longer. You've got to understand their needs and desires. the customer's needs, not yours. You've got to find the solution to the problem. You can create many of these to build your email list by yourself, which takes time, and if you have the skills to do so, you can outsource the problem with lots of practice. You can master these. Now, a squeeze page, also known as an opt-in box, also known as a landing page. Now you can have safe lists, a video call to action. So you get someone on video like Skype or Google Hangout, or or Facebook has video calling. But if you're not confident about doing video calling, you have to get them somehow on your list. So if you're not confident, you then need to find a way of getting them onto your list. So now, before we go into what is known as outsourcing, what is outsourcing? Now, outsourcing is where someone does a service for you if you have little time and it is to save time. Now, if you have not got the required skill, now if you want to do, say, send out, if you haven't got a list, 1,000, if you want to send off to 1,000 people, and you have got no list yet, but you can do it that way. You can pay someone through Fiverr to do it, but you've got to understand what you're selling first before you send the offer, and you've got to make you've got to build up your contacts within your list. So my advice is to get an understanding of list building. Start with like Facebook, and Facebook is free, and you can target people through the groups. So which is also a good skill. You've got to be able to, if you're not good on graphics, you can get people to do graphics for you, for your website, for your fan page. So you can download software programs. I highly recommend Logo Creator, which I've just downloaded, which I'll give you the link. Which now, if you haven't got Logo Creator, it's where you design professionally. You can create your own logos, banners, timeline, and Facebook fan pages. So you can create your you can enhance your presentations when you become to do presentations. So now we're going to take a short break, and we're going to if you have any questions up to now, please make sure you get in touch. But what I must advise you to do is watch part 1 and then part 2, because then you will get an understanding of what list building is and why it is important. It will, a list will take up to 6 months to a year, because people have commitments, because you're dealing with people's lives. So now, if you've got a contact like email address, you can contact people through there, Google Mail. But also solo ads are advertising, which is like fantastic. So what a solo ad is where you pay someone who's got a massive list who you want to share with. If you've got a massive list or you haven't got a list, it's a quick way of building up the list. So you pay for someone, like pay per click. So, and you've got to remember that depending on the offer, depending on the landing page, if you decided to go for 50 clicks, say, you've got to understand that the conversion rate, so which I'll go into at a later date, but solo ads are a great way to building up a list very quickly. Once you've got a good landing page, and you say, now when you watch part 2, what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to, in part 2, which is the process on how it works. So what we've covered in part 1 about landing pages, about solo ads, different ways of creating one's list. There are millions of other ways. Getting traffic to your website and many other things. Okay, stay tuned, and please go to part 2, the process on how it works.